Matt Clark here at the new Matt Clark. How are each and every one of you doing on this amazing Wednesday? I'm doing great. My girl's doing great. My family's doing great. I hope each and every one of you are doing great. Even though, let's be honest, times just haven't been great. Like, times suck right now. Straight up, they just suck. If you could please hit that like button, if you could please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification button, go up to the top, hit all, so you get all my videos, all my lives, anytime I post anything, first, right away. If you could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word, that'd be amazing. And there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, help support the channel. The link is in the description of all of my videos. So today, we're starting a new series. This is something that was requested, and I thought it was a good idea. We are gonna start talking about Canadian killers. People whose crimes are so heinous, they've become famous. They're all in the media because of how horrible they are. And the reason why I want to do this is because I feel like we're in a time where everybody just kind of hates everybody. If you have a difference of opinion, if you're, thought of as too masculine, if you're thought of as this or that, people just hate you. If you're an addict, if you're a criminal, people think you're a horrible person. Everything is so tribal. So I want to do this series to show what real evil is, what a real bad person looks like, what somebody who doesn't deserve a conversation, an objective conversation, who's somebody who should be and just out of there. So the first case I'm going to do is the case of Victoria Elizabeth Marie Stafford, aka Tori Stafford, who was abducted and murdered on April 9th, 2000 or April 8th, 2009. She was abducted in Woodstock and I think murdered in Mount Forest. Now, this case kind of blew up nationwide, but specifically in Ontario. This was a young girl from a small town who just seemingly disappeared. They had search parties and stuff. They did all this stuff and it was just gone. And it was so bad because people looked at the policing like it was horrible. There was no Amber Alert. It just seemed like nobody really cared, right? It seemed like the police were kind of just doing half-ass, let's be honest. And they could do that sometime. And I think the reason for that was, I think at first, they honestly thought that the mother, Tara McDonald, was responsible. And I think that's because of stigma, addiction, maybe not hanging around with the best people, maybe involved with people in the criminal lifestyle, not with the father. I think it's easy to point the fingers at people when there's stigma involved. I think there's tons of people, if you look at the US and Canada, who are in prison simply because of that. Because somebody judged them by their appearance or by decision that they made. Maybe they're an addict or something. People don't like that. Automatically assume they're a horrible person. Well, the person who committed this murder, Michael Thomas Christopher Stephen Rafferty and Terry Lynn Mclintic, monsters. Okay, Terry Lynn Mclintic actually went around in the search parties and pretended to help look for this missing girl. This girl actually knew the mother and allowed the story to build. You know, that's crime. Obviously, people who break the law aren't going to be honest. We know that. But to me, this isn't just breaking the law. This is somebody who, to me, did the most heinous crime you could possibly do. And even though they committed one murder and there's people who have committed 20, I think this stacks up as the worst of the worst because of the heinousness of the crime. So this little girl was raped and then beaten to death. The official cause of death was blunt force trauma from a claw hammer. She had 16 broken ribs and a whole bunch of other physical trauma. When I think about it, it makes me angry and it makes me wish I could have this dude right now in the room in front of me, because I swear to you, I would torture this human being. If I was allowed to, the things I would do to this person, I would feel no way about it. No way about it. I'd pick him apart physically and hurt him and take his life if I was allowed. If there is no consequence, that is what I would do. But there is, so I won't. Now, The reality is this man was arrested like a few months later. I don't know how they specifically arrested. I know there was a video where Tori was being led away from the school by a young woman. And originally, I think they thought it was her mother. I don't know what made them think it was Terry Lynn Mclintic. I don't know if it was tips or what it was that led to the arrest. I didn't do enough homework on that because that doesn't mean anything to me. The fact is, this person was arrested. Micheal Rafferty was arrested. He was convicted of that crime. And although I don't wish prison on anybody, I really don't. I think this person, if anybody deserves to be in prison, it's him. But if it was up to me, firing squad, I wouldn't burden the system or taxpayers by keeping this human being alive. I just wouldn't do it. And the fact that this girl was able to go to that search party and fake the funk like that is crazy to me, is psychotic to me. And the fact that she sat there and allowed this man to do that, played a role in it, did the kidnapping with him, just shows the level of derangement that was going on. I don't know if it's drugs, I don't know if it's mental health, I don't know what it is, but to me, these people cannot be fixed. There's certain things in life you can't change. You know, I feel like a murderer can be rehabilitated. I feel like a robber, a home invader, a break and enter guy, an addict, somebody who smokes cigarettes, whatever. But there's one thing I don't think that is treatable, and those are people that do violent sexual crimes at all, but specifically against children, because your desire is your desire. You can't take a straight man and make him like gay men. Just like you can't take a gay man and suddenly make that person like women. It doesn't work like that. What sails your ship, sails your ship. And I don't think there's any chemicals. I don't think there's any way you can change that with programming or anything like that. I think maybe what they think is they can keep it in control. This person can learn how to say no and not cross that line. They've already crossed it. This person is just a total creep. A total creep. I don't think there's any saving somebody like this. I think that this kind of a person is it. Devil incarnate. No change, no help. I'm a victim of sexual abuse myself. I saw the monstrous look in my abuser's eyes, and I know there is no helping that person. He stood on the stand and he lied about a young boy, an 11 or a 12-year-old boy. That's what he did. That's what he did. And he was acquitted because of it. And as he walked out of the courtroom, he had a smile on my face. That person knew what he did to me, or he had a smile on his face. He knew what he did to me. He felt no way about it. And I bet you afterwards, because he walked on that, he reoffended, whether he was caught for it or not. I think sexual predators, specifically pedophiles, should be killed. That's it. I'm not saying a pedophile who thinks like a pedophile. I'm saying a pedophile who acts like one should be killed. As soon as you cross that line, that's it. You've shown you're capable of hurting children. Claw hammer. A claw hammer. Man, that's crazy. It makes me sad to even think about. Now, this person is now in La Macaza Institution, a medium institution in Quebec that honestly, I had no idea even existed. Not a clue. Never heard of it. Never heard the name before. Never heard the name of the town before. I've been in the federal system for years. Nobody ever brought it up to me one time. You know why? Because this prison was specifically built to cater to sexual offenders so they don't get murdered in other prisons. If you're in on parking tickets, if you're in on unpaid child support, if you're in on theft unders, and you get sentenced to time, they feel no way about it. They will put you with murderers. They will put you with robbers and gang members. They'll feel no way about it. But if you are a sexual predator, they'll build a whole jail to protect you at the cost of a taxpayer. And the reality is, there's more of these people out there. And every time one of these guys crosses the line and gets a slap on their wrist, in my opinion, that is lives lost. And I blame the system. That can be generational trauma. The amount of trauma that sexual abusers put people through is, you can't really put it into words. You know, it's a lifelong battle, something you deal with for the rest of your life. They not only did that, but they also murdered this young girl. Just imagine what she was thinking about. Imagine the fear. Imagine the just straight out terror when this man was doing what he was doing to her. Obviously, I share my stories with you guys so you guys don't have to go through these things yourselves. If I could snap my finger, nobody goes to prison again. Nobody gets abused again. Nobody deals with addiction. Nobody is not able to rehabilitate themselves. That's what I do, but that's not a reality, especially in 2021. The world is effed up, and we know that. We all know that, right? We're seeing it firsthand. Look what's going on in the world right now. Afghanistan, all these different things. The world's going crazy, man. It is. And this man is worse than all of it. He is a monster in the nightmares. Micheal Rafferty, man, I hope you get it, buddy. I hope one day somebody gets their hands on you and is able to take your life. If I was able to do it without consequence, I would feel no way about it. If they just needed somebody to swing the axe to chop the head off, I would be that person. Lynn Mclintic was eventually sent to a healing lodge, despite the fact that she's not even Native. That's what kills me. Her family all says she's not Native, but somehow she's at this healing lodge, which is a minimum security with no fence. Me on break and enters was never able to get to a minimum security with no fence, but a child murderer is able to get there in a couple years. It shows how backwards the system is. And people complained to Ralph Goodell or whatever the Ministry of Corrections was at the time, and he overturned it and sent her back to Edmonton Female Penitentiary because of how bad it looked in the public eye. The reality is they didn't care. They put her there. Clearly they don't care. They put her back to save face, not because they felt like she deserved it. Let's be real. Let's be real. If you could please hit that like button. If you could please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification button so you get all my videos when they're new. If you could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word, that'd be amazing. And there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, help support the channel. The link is in the description of all of my videos. Micheal Rafferty, Lynn Mclintic. Both of them are monsters. Like I said, I don't wish prison on anybody. That's why I wish them dead. I really do. I don't wish death on anybody, but I don't think rehabilitation is possible for somebody who can do that. Love each and every one of you. The new Matt Clark.